Most seniors think they know what to eat after 60, but what if everything your doctor told you about diet was missing one simple fact? Studies show that the wrong foods can quietly age your body, weaken your bones, and drain your energy without you even realizing it. In the next minute, I'll reveal the best diet for seniors that most doctors never mention, and it might change the way you eat forever. You know, most seniors in the US think they already know what's healthy to eat after 60. But the truth is that the rules change once your body reaches this stage. What worked in your 40s or 50s might actually be harming you now. One of the biggest myths I see every day is the idea that you should drastically cut protein as you age. Many older adults tell me, I've been avoiding meat and dairy because I thought it would help my cholesterol. But what they don't realize is that their muscles and bones are silently losing strength. Protein isn't just for building muscles in your youth. After 60, it's what helps you stay mobile, prevents falls, and keeps your immune system strong. Think about a neighbor or friend who suddenly finds it hard to carry groceries or climb stairs. It's often not just age. It's a lack of essential nutrients that your body needs at this stage. Another common misconception is avoiding fats entirely. Many seniors remember the low-fat craze from the 1980s and 90s, and they still live by it, thinking fat is the enemy. But not all fats are bad. Healthy fats, like those found in avocados, salmon, and nuts, are actually crucial for your brain, heart, and hormone health. I remember one of my viewers, a retired teacher from Ohio, who started adding salmon and walnuts to her weekly meals. And within a few months, she noticed that her memory felt sharper and she had more energy in the mornings. Meanwhile, her friend, who stuck to strictly low-fat foods, began feeling more fatigued and even lost some muscle mass. The difference was in the nutrients she was giving her body. Then there's the obsession with calorie restriction. Many older adults think eating less is the safest route to health, but extreme calorie cuts can backfire. Your metabolism naturally slows after 60, and if you don't give your body the right balance of calories and nutrients, you risk losing muscle instead of fat. I often use the example of my neighbor, a 68-year-old retired nurse in California, who thought she should eat only a small salad for lunch every day. She lost a little weight initially, but quickly noticed her stamina dropping, her joints aching, and she started getting colds more often. Once she added a balanced mix of lean proteins, colorful vegetables, and whole grains, she felt stronger and more energetic, even if the scale didn't move as fast as she expected. Many seniors also underestimate the power of hydration and fiber. Skipping these can make you feel sluggish and lead to digestive issues, which are very common but often overlooked. A simple habit like adding a cup of berries to breakfast or a handful of nuts between meals can make a huge difference in how your body functions and how you feel every day. The key here is that small, consistent changes in your diet, rather than extreme restrictions, have the most lasting impact on health, energy, and independence after 60. As we grow older, something fascinating but often overlooked happens to our bodies, and it changes the way we need to think about food. Many seniors assume that what they ate in their 40s or 50s will continue to keep them healthy after 60. But the reality is that your metabolism slows down, your digestive system becomes less efficient, and your body's ability to absorb vital nutrients starts to decline. This isn't just about numbers on a scale or looking in the mirror. It's about energy, mobility, and independence. I've met countless seniors who told me they were eating healthy because they followed the same meals they had for decades, yet they felt tired, achy, and sometimes even depressed without understanding why. The truth is that after 60, your body's nutritional needs shift dramatically, and ignoring these changes can quietly chip away at your quality of life over time. One of the most critical changes is in metabolism. As we age, the number of calories our body burns at rest decreases, which is perfectly natural. But this doesn't mean we should eat less indiscriminately. It means we need smarter calories, lean proteins, healthy fats, and nutrient-dense carbohydrates become far more important because they give your body the building blocks it can no longer make as efficiently on its own. For example, amino acids from proteins are essential for maintaining muscle mass. A friend of mine, a 72-year-old retired engineer in Michigan, had noticed he was losing strength and struggling with stairs, even though he considered himself active. Once he started incorporating more eggs, fish, beans, and Greek yogurt into his meals, he not only regained strength, but also noticed that his balance improved, which is crucial for preventing falls, one of the biggest risks for seniors. Your bones also start to need more attention. Calcium absorption decreases with age, and vitamin D production from sunlight diminishes as well. This makes seniors more vulnerable to osteoporosis and fractures. I often tell my viewers that it's not just about drinking milk or taking a calcium pill. It's about a balanced approach. Leafy greens, fortified cereals, and fatty fish are excellent sources, and when paired with light resistance exercise, they can dramatically improve bone density. I remember a 68-year-old retired school principal in Texas who started taking small but consistent steps, adding spinach and sardines to her diet and doing simple at-home strength exercises. And after a year, her doctor noted a significant improvement in her bone density, even though she had been told in her 60s that it's too late to change. Digestion changes too. Enzymes and stomach acid decline with age, meaning that seniors may struggle to break down certain foods or absorb nutrients fully. This is why fiber becomes essential not just for preventing constipation, but for overall gut health and even blood sugar regulation. Foods like oats, berries, beans, beige, and vegetables aren't just good to have. They actively help your body maintain balance in ways that processed foods simply cannot. A viewer from Florida shared how she began including more fiber-rich foods after years of low-fiber dieting and noticed her energy levels improving, her cholesterol stabilizing, and even her mood lifting. Small adjustments like this can have cascading effects on overall health and well-being. Hydration also becomes more critical. Seniors often feel less thirsty, which can lead to dehydration, dry skin, dizziness, and even confusion. Drinking enough water, herbal teas, and eating water-rich fruits and vegetables is more important than many realize. I often compare it to fueling a car. Your body needs water to perform optimally, and when it's dehydrated, nothing functions as it should. One man I spoke with, a retired firefighter in Arizona, had been experiencing frequent fatigue and confusion, thinking it was just old age. Once he began consciously drinking water and including hydrating foods like cucumbers and watermelon, he reported feeling alert and energetic for the first time in years. Another shift is in micronutrient requirements. Vitamins B12, B6, magnesium, and zinc become increasingly important for energy, cognitive health, B-divs, and immunity. Many seniors are unaware that even if they eat what they consider a healthy diet, they may still be deficient in these critical nutrients. I always tell my audience that a simple blood test can reveal these gaps, and adjusting diet or supplementation under a doctor's guidance can make a world of difference. I remember a 70-year-old retired nurse from New York who discovered she was low in B12, and after adding fortified cereals, eggs, and a small B12 supplement, she noticed improvements in her memory and stamina within months. Finally, it's important to understand that emotional and psychological factors influence how seniors eat. Loneliness, stress, and habit can lead to poor food choices, skipped meals, or over-reliance on processed convenience foods. Nutrition isn't just biochemical, it's deeply tied to lifestyle and mindset. Encouraging seniors to prepare meals they enjoy, eat with friends or family, and view food as nourishment rather than punishment can dramatically improve adherence to a healthy diet. I often share stories of seniors who started small traditions like weekly cooking sessions with grandchildren or neighborhood friends, and suddenly their diet improved effortlessly. Their spirits lifted this trend, and their health markers followed. When we talk about nutrition for seniors, there's a lot of advice floating around, but what many doctors don't emphasize is which foods truly have the power to change your health after 60. It's not just about eating less or avoiding certain foods. It's about choosing the right foods that actively support your muscles, bones, heart, and brain. And unfortunately, many people don't get the guidance they need. One of the most important categories is protein-rich foods, and not just in the traditional sense of red meat. Seniors often shy away from protein, thinking it might hurt their kidneys or increase cholesterol, but the truth is that high-quality protein is vital for maintaining muscle mass and mobility. Take someone like Margaret, a 67-year-old retired librarian from Illinois who had been eating mostly carbohydrates and low-fat options. She struggled with climbing stairs and carrying groceries, but after incorporating eggs, fish, Greek yogurt and beans into her meals, she noticed her energy returning, her joints felt stronger, and even her balance improved, allowing her to enjoy her daily walks again. Omega-3 fatty acids are another group of nutrients that are underemphasized in standard advice. These healthy fats, found in salmon, sardines, walnuts, and flax seeds, are essential for heart health, cognitive function, and reducing inflammation, which is a silent factor in many age-related conditions. I recall a gentleman from Florida, a retired teacher, who experienced frequent stiffness and joint discomfort. He started eating salmon twice a week and adding a handful of walnuts to his breakfast, and within a few months he reported feeling more flexible and alert, as if his body had woken up again. The impact of these healthy fats goes beyond physical health. They affect mood, focus, and even sleep quality, which are all crucial for maintaining independence as we age. Calcium and vitamin D are, of course, widely discussed, but what's rarely highlighted is the combination of foods that work synergistically to protect bones. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens, along with fortified plant milks and fatty fish, provide a spectrum of nutrients that support bone density. I've shared stories of seniors in New York and California who, by adding small portions of kale or broccoli to their meals daily, alongside a serving of salmon a few times a week, were able to maintain bone strength better than many of their peers who relied solely on supplements. It's this combination, real whole foods working together, that makes the difference, and it's often overlooked in general medical advice. Fiber-rich foods are another cornerstone of essential nutrition for seniors. Oats, berries, beans, and cruciferous vegetables aren't just fillers. They help regulate blood sugar, maintain healthy cholesterol, support gut health, and prevent constipation, which is incredibly common in older adults. One viewer, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Texas, shared that after years of minimal fiber intake, she began feeling bloated and low in energy. Once she started including oatmeal for breakfast, a small bean salad for lunch, and berries as snacks, her digestion improved dramatically, and she felt lighter, more energetic, and even happier because her meals finally felt satisfying without making her uncomfortable. Hydrating foods, though often ignored, play a critical role too. Many seniors don't drink enough water and forget that fruits and vegetables like cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and tomatoes contribute significantly to hydration. I often tell my viewers that staying hydrated isn't just about quenching thirst, it's about keeping your brain sharp, your joints lubricated, and your skin resilient. One retired firefighter in Arizona shared how he struggled with frequent fatigue and mild confusion, thinking it was just age. Adding hydrating foods and consciously drinking water throughout the day changed his energy and clarity, and it reminded him how simple choices can have profound effects. Finally, it's important to include a variety of colorful foods to ensure you're getting antioxidants and micronutrients. Berries, peppers, sweet potatoes, and tomatoes are loaded with vitamins and compounds that help reduce oxidative stress, support immunity, and keep your eyes and heart healthy. I remember a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who had never paid attention to colorful vegetables. Once she started adding red peppers and blueberries to her meals regularly, she noticed improvements in her skin, energy, and even her memory recall, which she attributed to feeling mentally sharper and more alive. The takeaway here is that these foods are not fads, trends, or exotic ingredients. They are everyday, accessible options that can make a measurable difference in the quality of life after 60. The key is consistency, variety, and focusing on foods that serve multiple purposes: muscle support, bone strength, heart health, brain function, and overall vitality. By making these foods a regular part of your meals, seniors can regain energy, protect independence, and feel more confident in their bodies, all while enjoying meals that are satisfying, flavorful, and nourishing. When it comes to nutrition after 60, it's easy to focus on individual foods, but what often has the greatest impact on health is small daily habits that seniors can maintain consistently. I always tell my viewers that these tiny adjustments aren't about dramatic diets or complicated meal plans. They're about creating patterns that your body responds to over time, and the results can be life-changing. One of the simplest yet most powerful habits is meal timing and frequency. Many seniors skip breakfast or eat sporadically, thinking it will reduce calories, but this can actually slow metabolism and make energy levels unstable. I remember a retired accountant in Ohio who told me he often went from skipping breakfast straight to a heavy late lunch, feeling sluggish and irritable by mid-afternoon. Once he started having a balanced breakfast with eggs, oats, and fruit, followed by small protein-rich snacks between meals, he noticed he had sustained energy, better mood, and even improved focus during his morning walks. Hydration is another habit that can't be overlooked. Seniors often feel less thirsty as they age, which can lead to dehydration without them realizing it. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, dizziness, and cognitive issues. I often suggest simple strategies like keeping a water bottle at arm's reach, drinking a glass of water before each meal, or incorporating hydrating foods like cucumbers, watermelon, and oranges. A retired teacher from Florida shared that she rarely drank water intentionally, thinking tea and coffee were enough. Once she started following these small hydration habits, she felt lighter, more alert, and even noticed improvements in her digestion and skin health. Portion control is another habit that makes a big difference without feeling restrictive. Many seniors are used to large portions, leftovers, or supersized meals, which can contribute to weight gain and digestive discomfort. I recommend smaller plates, mindful eating, and listening to your body's hunger cues. One viewer, a 70-year-old retired nurse in Texas, shared that she used to eat until her plate was empty, even if she wasn't hungry. After switching to smaller portions and slowing down her eating, she felt satisfied with less food. Her energy stabilized, and she even began losing some stubborn belly weight without feeling deprived. Another habit with surprising benefits is meal preparation and planning. I've seen seniors transform their health simply by dedicating a few hours each week to plan balanced meals, shop for nutrient-dense ingredients, and prep snacks in advance. This reduces reliance on processed foods and makes healthy eating effortless. A retired engineer in Michigan shared that before planning meals, he would often grab whatever was convenient, like chips or frozen meals. After he began prepping vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy snacks on Sundays, he noticed he was eating more consistently, felt lighter, and even saved money while enjoying meals that tasted fresh and satisfying. Movement is another subtle habit that enhances nutrition and overall wellness. It doesn't have to be intense exercise like walking after meals. Gentle stretching or even standing up every hour can improve digestion, blood sugar levels, and energy. I often tell seniors that pairing good nutrition with movement creates a feedback loop. Better digestion leads to more energy, which encourages more activity, which in turn improves appetite and nutrient absorption. One woman, a retired librarian from California, began walking for 10 minutes after lunch each day, and she reported better digestion, more stable blood sugar, and a happier, more motivated mood by the end of the week. Finally, the habit of mindful and enjoyable eating cannot be underestimated. Food should not just be fuel, it should be nourishing and satisfying for the mind and spirit. Seniors who eat slowly, savor flavors, and eat with family or friends often experience better digestion, improved mood, and a stronger sense of connection and fulfillment. I remember a retired school principal from New York who started hosting weekly small lunches with her grandchildren. She said that meals became the highlight of her week, and over time, She noticed she was eating more balanced portions, enjoying more vegetables, and feeling genuinely happier, which also positively affected her physical health. The beauty of these small habits is that they are easy to adopt, flexible, and sustainable, unlike complicated diet plans or temporary fads. By focusing on meal timing, hydration, portion control, meal prep, light movement, and mindful eating, seniors can make incremental changes that accumulate into major improvements in energy, strength, mood, and independence. These habits remind us that healthy living after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, awareness, and valuing the small steps that ultimately transform daily life. When it comes to healthy eating after 60, the most overlooked aspect is not what's on your plate, but how you think about food. For decades, many seniors have been taught to focus on restriction, calories, or following rigid rules, and while those approaches might work short-term, they often create frustration, guilt, or a sense of failure. I always tell my viewers that the real transformation begins when you shift your mindset from dieting to nourishing. Food is not the enemy, and aging doesn't mean giving up on enjoyment, flavor, or satisfaction. Instead, it's about seeing each meal as a chance to fuel your body, support your energy, and protect your independence. One of my viewers, a 69-year-old retired nurse in Ohio, used to avoid whole grains and fats entirely because she thought she was too old to indulge. Once she started focusing on balanced, nutrient-rich meals she actually enjoyed, she reported feeling more energized, mentally sharper, and surprisingly, she even began losing weight naturally without stress. Another part of this mindset shift is understanding that small, consistent changes beat dramatic diets every time. Seniors often fall into the trap of extreme plans that are impossible to sustain, whether it's cutting out entire food groups or eating only a handful of superfoods. I always emphasize that progress is measured in every meal, every day, and every choice. A retired teacher from California shared that she began by simply adding one vegetable to each meal and one serving of protein at breakfast. Over months, these tiny adjustments compounded into a dramatic improvement in her energy, mood, and mobility, and she felt proud rather than guilty for each small step. It's also crucial to focus on longevity and quality of life rather than just weight or numbers on a scale. Many seniors worry obsessively about weight gain, but what really matters is maintaining muscle, bone strength, heart health, and mental clarity. I often remind my audience that eating for vitality allows you to stay independent, enjoy social activities, and feel confident moving through your day. One retired firefighter in Texas shared how he shifted his perspective from, "I must restrict everything to lose weight," to, "I want to nourish my body so I can stay active and enjoy life." And the result was that he felt lighter, more energetic, and more motivated to keep walking, swimming, and spending time with his grandchildren. Finally, adopting a positive mindset around diet also involves celebrating successes and enjoying food as part of life. Seniors who embrace meals as nourishing, enjoyable, and empowering often see the best results because it reduces stress, prevents emotional eating, and encourages consistent, healthy choices. I tell my viewers that even small indulgences, like a square of dark chocolate or a favorite fruit, are part of a healthy, balanced approach. A 72-year-old retired librarian in Florida shared that she began savoring meals rather than rushing through them, adding colorful ingredients and occasionally enjoying her favorite dessert guilt-free. She said she felt more in control, happier, and noticed her energy and strength improving naturally. The key takeaway is that food is not a punishment or a limitation. After 60, it's a tool to support your health, independence, and joy in life. By adopting this mindset, seniors can make informed, flexible, and sustainable choices that benefit their body, mind, and spirit every single day,